Hello, everyone. Daniel here from the Next Issue Podcast. Let's talk about what may be the best episode of TV so far this year that I've seen. This is a review for Andor, episode 8 from season 2. Who are you? Before I get into the spoilers, I actually took like about a day to kind of just sit with this episode. I finished watching the second episode pretty late from this week, which is episode 8, and it was just something else. I It led to one of just the most heartbreaking episodes of television that I've seen, especially after everything that happened in season 8, where we have a little bit of hope, right? We have that force healer, and who reveals that Andor is the messenger, or like uh, they feel that he is the messenger, whatever that ends up meaning. Now, obviously, we know that Cassian is very important to the rebellion and very important going forward in the story. But I feel like our hopes were a little bit up, but man, oh man, they were very swiftly crushed by the Empire. The Empire finally unleashed the last part of their plan, and it is just terrifying and heartbreaking to see what the Empire has done to these people. So great performances, really chaotic battle scenes, and chaotic just everything that was going on, and also just some beautiful moments of like seeing these people as individuals. It was great. This is, like I said, one of the best episodes of television I've seen. Uh, Now, I haven't watched episode 9, as I've mentioned before. I record the videos, only haven't watched up to the video that I'm recording for. So after this, I'm definitely very much looking forward to just going and finishing this batch of episodes for the week and checking out episode 9 of Andor. But let's get into the spoilers now. So if you haven't seen episode 8 or prior, make sure to go back and check those out. Or you can always come back and watch the review later on. Whew. All right. So we know that Cassian is in Gorman. He's at the hotel. He's assembling a weapon. He's trying to figure out if he can get a shot off on Dedra. I believe it's Dedra after somebody pronounced it in the show. The Imperials are seen restructuring those barriers that they have all around the plaza on Gore, like I believe it's Palma, the name of the city where they're in. And then as Cyril he takes note of this, so does Cassian. Cyril confronts Blair about being it's confronted by Blair, who's the leader of the Gore, for being a phony, right? He calls him that he's walking on the streets with the people because the people of Gore had been assembling in a protest, really, in the plaza in the main town square, where we have uh, where we have the where the Tarkin massacre happened, and then they built the monument. Uh, we do hear from the bellboy, who we know recognized Cassian from the previous episode. Rebellions are built on hope, so I made note of that. That was just a very inspirational message that needs to reverberate throughout the rest of the series. If Cassian is going to have any hope of keeping things up, Cyril and Cassian almost cross paths, which is interesting because I don't remember exactly how much, but I'm pretty sure they know of each other. Or at least at this moment, I was very sure that they knew of each other. Cyril was then put in a room with a few other people that work in that same building with him, and a bunch of K2 droids. I think that's what the model is. But yeah, it's a lot of droids. They look like K2SO. So this is already a bad sign, right? Why would the Empire bring these droids if they weren't going to use them? We also see the Imperial media twisting the story of this, what is as of this moment a peaceful protest by the people of Gore, who are just being squeezed out by the Empire. Uh, and the media, obviously, the Imperial media reporting only what they want. All the media in Gore and Gorman has been pre-approved by the Empire to be there. So obviously they pick those who will kind of tell their side of the story. We know that's part of their plan, right? They mentioned it in that brief meeting at the beginning of the season. One thing I do notice and I really enjoy about this series is that stormtroopers are so menacing in this series because they really are like the most menacing thing that other than the droids now that showed up. Stormtroopers are, I mean, they are armored, battle ready individuals against regular everyday people, right? There are no Jedi in Gorman. There are no like rebels that are skilled enough to fight and take on a whole battalion. There is no Luke Skywalker. There is no Force users. There. I feel like stormtroopers through so many of the films are kind of made of a joke, just to just so you can compare how strong the Jedi or Force users or everyone else is kind of when it comes to against them, but against regular old people like a couple of stormtroopers, they're you're not making it out of that conflict. Um, so the Empire had brought in this squad of very inexperienced, like crowd control troops, and they are sending them purposely, hoping to incite an incident. Of course, with this protest, right? You can tell this is all being very heavily maneuvered by the Imperial, the captain that showed up uh, episode, and Didra. She doesn't really have control of the situation anymore. She's just watching and approving that things kind of keep moving forward. Also, Paragast keeps trying to get updates from her, so she's in a bad place emotionally because Cyril will has confronted her or will confront her to tell her the truth with a very forceful choke. Like they get into it, they get physical, um, and I think this is Cyril ends up realizing that he was also being played. That it was not about promotions, it was not about trying to maneuver this into a peaceful resolution where the Empire wins whatever they're trying to do. They are going to destroy this place, and now Cyril knows that. So he leaves. He leaves the comfort of that building that he's been in. The Gore begin to sing one of their local songs as part of protest. Um, in the meanwhile, Didra's argument was, "We're going home as heroes." Can you imagine if you work for the Empire, if you're part of the Empire, and having that mindset, what that truly means in this context? The Empire, of course, has their own instigator. They have set up a sharpshooter, and who starts taking shots into the crowd. This causes a commotion. This causes the protests to start getting physical and violent. This is when the Empire sends out the droids, and they just start taking people out. Like these droids, if you thought stormtroopers were dangerous and scary in this context, like the droids are superhuman machines that have no feelings, have no regard. They are just programmed to do their crowd control. Um, yeah, and Cyril now is kind of in the whole chaos of war, and in a place that he never really imagined he would ever be. In the meanwhile, we see Cassian finally has a shot at Deidre, but Cyril recognizes him, sees him, and stops him from shooting her. Of course, she'll never know this. She'll never know that Cyril saved her life eventually. They have a big fight inside of this like building or hotel, wherever they were staying. And as Cyril gains the upper hand because of an explosion and he's about to shoot Cassian, Cassian asks him like, "Who are you?" He doesn't even know. He doesn't. Cassian doesn't even remember Cyril. That's how insignificant he was. It's like Cyril, who probably constantly kept thinking about Cassian and what he did to him in season one, whereas to Cassian, that was never even a blip on his radar. But Cyril ends up getting shot by one of the Gore who he betrayed earlier. Um, Cassian and Will finally get together, but they do end up splitting up. Will once again trying to go after a girl, and then Cassian needs to go back to the ship. A K2 droid is attacking them. One of the Gore people rams it with an Imperial car that they've stolen. So Cassian ends up taking the droid's broken body, which we will probably know that will be K2. And then also it takes the Imperial. He goes out to the ship. Gorman's message goes out to the galaxy. That is the last thing we see from the people of Gore. And then we see as to close out the episode. If this wasn't heartbreaking enough, we see Cyril's mom, who is just a regular person living in Coruscant, who legitimately cares about her son, whose son is now dead. And can you imagine how many people that live under the Empire and they've been hearing all this twisted media messages about how the people of Gore were inciting these riots and they're terrorists, and now they see some of their own start to die because of this. Like public opinion on Gore, that's it. They're not gonna care about the planet anymore, and they're gonna just let the Empire mine the crap out of it and take out all the stuff that they want. And the Empire has now won. It is a powerful, powerful episode. Um, yeah, I can't. I don't even have any more words to say about it other than this was great. I needed to sit with it. I needed to process what just happened before I watch the last one of this episode 9, which is the next one in this batch of episodes. And then we jump on one more week, one more year, as we get closer and closer to the events of Rogue One. But I really love how the show has been giving us a little bit of fan service, but just such rich storytelling, rich character moments. It all just really works for me. I love this show so much. Even though it is hard to watch sometimes, it's heartbreaking, it is tough. I'm really enjoying what Andor season 2 is delivering every week. So if you have watched this episode, let me know what you thought about it down in the comments. As always, thank you for watching, everyone. Remember to share, like, subscribe, hit the bell so you know when we go live. That is most Saturdays, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. Stay tuned. We have more comic reviews, trailer reactions, TV recaps, all that fun stuff here in the channel. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye bye.